Yes, it's our strong belief that once an individual is armed with relevant information and knowledge, such a person becomes an asset and is able to navigate with ease the numerous challenges of life. Today on the program, we lay off information, and all that we have capable of helping every member of the family at your feet, to achieve equilibrium and win in those areas of life's concerns.
Plenty of them, in fact, and we are conscious of the serious threat to the peace and stability of the family, especially at crucial times such as we are in. Now, this is why every week we seek out seasoned professionals with solutions. Today we focus on the boy child and the elderly.
Mm-hmm. And a warm welcome to another life-changing and impactful edition of the family-oriented program, Today with John and Helen Live. How is life treating you? And how is the family? How are you coping with the teenagers, adolescents, and the youth in your household? I am John Senaya.
And how are you coping, John?
I'm not coping at all.
At all.
Lagos was under gridlock.
I'm telling you.
We'll talk about that in a bit.
And so how are we faring generally, and how are we caring for the elderly, both in our homes, like John asked, and in the society at large, especially those who have some health challenges, when you consider the senior citizens. Now, we intend to provide very useful insights on the program today. Among my Helen Odele, and always is a big welcome and thank you for tuning in. After the break, we shall return with a clear picture of the package and our guests. This is Today with John and Helen live on Plus TV Africa. Please stay with us.
Welcome back. We all have elderly members in our families, and how well are we equipped with their care holistically? On a scale of 1 to 10, honestly speaking, where are you?
Honestly speaking, where are we? Now, joining the conversation from Ibadan, Nigeria, is Mrs. Elizabeth Aino Scott, who is founder of Hebron Love and Care Center and Hebron Love Elders Home. She will be joined by the President, Dementia Care International, Hilary Lee, all the way from Australia. And together, they will help us understand the advantages of the Spark of Life care model for the elderly.
And also today on the show, the founder of the Boy Child Transformation Center and MD/CEO Avenue Consultancy, Nkiruka Mogalo Joel, directs our attention to the boy child, especially the adolescent. In a flash, that will be the outlook on today's package. No doubt you stand to benefit tremendously from the conversations.
And in a moment, you will be meeting the first set of guests as we deliberate on the topic, the Spark of Life, the better alternative. That will be after the break and after John has told me what his week has been like. I've been so blessed being at home. So all the stories I've heard, I hadn't experienced.
It's been, in one word, it's been crazy. The gridlock in Lagos has messed a lot of things up in the last few days. And quite frankly, we can't emphasize it enough. We need a little more empathy.
Who are we taking to court?
No, we don't have to take anybody to court. But at least we have to make them realize that we are humans. Right?
They know. I saw the Minister of Works apologizing profusely to Lagosians.
Yeah. For me, it's medicine after death.
And telling us what would happen to whoever gave that directive without
medicine.
running it back.
It's still medicine after death. Things have to be properly done.
But the roads are pretty clear this morning.
Because they've reopened the bridge.
Okay.
Yes, they've now reopened the bridge. Something that would have taken 2 to 3 months has taken overnight to fix
Can you imagine?
because of the problem. So let's go on with the problem with the program.
Okay,
please.
all right.
This is it's quite upsetting.
No, but that's past now. Eh? You have to calm down. You have to calm it down.
We've been calming down too
You have
often.
to calm it down. All right, so we'll just move on with the show like George said.
Yes, thanks for being there. We'll do a quick introduction of the two internationally trained caregivers, Elizabeth Aino Scott and Hilary Lee. Hilary Lee is the president, Dementia Care International, with a global focus on leadership, support, education, and innovation. With a background in occupational therapy from Oxford, England, and a Masters of Science research, our guest is a certified individual in qualitative and quantitative health research. Working with other professionals, Hilary Lee developed a groundbreaking assessment to identify the abilities of people with dementia. Editor of the Macmillan book, Creative Approaches in Dementia, our guest, who spent 7 long years researching the sparks of life philosophy in practice, supports healthcare leaders in 5 continents who have successfully adopted the model. She joins us from Perth, Australia, and let's welcome Hilary Lee, President, Dementia Care International.
Hilary, are you there? Hello.
Hello, thank you. It's lovely to be here. It's a great honor. Thank you.
Okay, so we move on straight to the next guest, and we'll be having this conversation with them simultaneously. Hilary, thank you for joining us. How are you?
I'm fine. So good to be here.
And how is Australia today?
It's pretty good. Yes, we're in the in-between season, so it's actually heading towards winter.
Can you hear Hilary?
Very good, very good. Well, we move on to let's take a quick peek at the second guest. She is one who, for most part of her adult and professional life, even as a director with the NTA, devoted a lot of time and resources to the care and well-being of the elderly. Elizabeth Aino Scott is the brain behind and founder of Hebron Love and Care Home and Hebron Day Centers here in Lagos and Ibadan, a pioneer leader in dementia care in Nigeria, and a public relations expert, an experienced administrator, and a spark of life master practitioner. Our guest established Hebron Home and Care Center in 2003 as a response to unmet psychological and emotional needs of the elderly. It's time to meet and welcome Elizabeth Aino Scott. Hello there.
Hello, how are you?
Okay, so if we're ready.
Helen, I think you may have a few questions for our guests.
Yes, but
let's get it rolling.
You know, you're the man here. There's 3 of us, so you go with the first question, and that first question, I guess, is for Elizabeth.
Yes, it's for Elizabeth. And Elizabeth, could you tell us your journey from the world of television to founding Hebron Love and Care Home is quite inspiring. What motivated this dramatic shift into dementia care?
I will say that the first one, that was what I studied in university, so that's my profession. The care of the elderly is a calling from God. And Helen will tell you that right from when I was in service, I started with the elderly. So gradually I developed a passion for doing that work, being with the elderly and making sure that they are happy. So now I'm fully into it after retirement, and I'll tell you I'm enjoying what I'm experiencing. Thank you.
You've always enjoyed their company. You know, I remember the weekly, every Friday, solidarity visits, you know, all of the menu and of the dancing and of the conversations that you would always take to the elderly's home here in Lagos, even while you were gainfully employed as the general manager on NTA Lagos, the zonal director, NTA Lagos, and all of that. And it's such an honor to know, and it gladdens our heart to know that you're still in that business of taking care of the elderly. All right, so let's shift our attention now to Hillary. Can you tell us how Dementia Care International came to be and what its core mission is?
Dementia Care International, we are an independent Australian-based organisation, and we were founded back in 1993 by Jane Verity, an international dementia expert, and she has a background in occupational therapy and family therapy, and also she's a master practitioner in neuro-linguistic programming, which is how language programs the brain. And all of those aspects have been very much incorporated into the Spark of Life philosophy and model of care. So the purpose has always been about humanising dementia care and looking at the potential that people with dementia have, even as people with advanced dementia, that they had that potential to improve. And back in the early 1990s, people with dementia, they were often forgotten, especially with advanced dementia. You might see them in a nursing home sitting kind of around the back of a room and not being engaged with other people, and people didn't think that they really could, they had the ability to connect and communicate. And so Jane really made it her mission to make sure that especially people with advanced dementia could still have a quality of life and the best life possible. So we really have a humanitarian purpose, and it's about bringing to the community a sustainable model of care that really brings about quality into dementia care that's based on kindness and empathy and love.
Okay.
And we work with people all around the world. We work with aged care leaders, and we are supporting them to bring this education so that they can enrich and enhance the quality of care for everyone involved, also for the staff, also for the families, so that everyone's experience is enriched.
Okay,
So really that's the essence of how Spark of Life came about and what our purpose is.
All right. So let's bring it home to Nigeria now. From your global experience and from the experience you've had, you know, with Mrs. Elizabeth Anoscott, who is probably your representative here in Nigeria, how does dementia care in countries like Nigeria compare with the rest of the world? And what are, you know, the major things that we need to concentrate on when we're talking about caring for the elderly, and how destructive to life, you know, and peace and harmony and growing up, you know, for the elderly, how destructive can this ailment, if I can call it that, the health challenge dementia, be?
Just to give a sense of the enormity of the issue, there are around 50 million people with dementia globally, and 60% of those people are actually in countries like Nigeria. And like for Nigeria, you've got a huge population, so you've got 260 million inhabitants, and out of that, there are 5% of the population have dementia, which make it quite an important issue to address. It's like it's just there, but it's often not talked about. And there are some challenges, there are actually some quite great challenges. Firstly, the lack of understanding, that people often don't recognise or know what dementia is. It's like there is a lack of education in the wider community about dementia. And then even if people do know what it is, just the label of dementia has a stigma attached to it. People, if they have that diagnosis, it's like people immediately start to treat them differently. They're not maybe included in the conversation. Maybe people will talk to the partner and not to the person with dementia because they make assumptions that person can't communicate. So there's a great need for education to help people understand about dementia. And I know that in Nigeria and countries like Nigeria, there's quite a challenge of healthcare professionals leaving the country, actually looking for jobs elsewhere where it might be more appealing. So it's quite hard to actually get professional staff to work. And I know that Elizabeth has encountered that problem at her service as well. And there is a need, at a higher level, really, to start developing a coordinated strategy, a national dementia plan, if you want to, name it, so that there is a coordinated process to bring in education and support and services so that the needs of people with dementia are addressed and the educational needs, in particular in the community, are addressed. So, and people with dementia, they can't speak up for themselves. Perhaps if they have early dementia, they can, but as their dementia advances, it means that they cannot, they're very vulnerable, and they need us to, in the wider community and the people around them, to actually be their advocates and to provide that support and that guidance and the direction, and to simply make it a priority to give them that support. So I guess that's in the big picture. And then in the everyday challenges for people with dementia, I guess those, just to explain what dementia is, it's a condition that affects people's, thinking. There's many different types of dementia, but in essence, dementia describes a group of symptoms where people start to lose their memories, they start to lose their ability to do their daily activities, things that they might have done automatically every day. They become a challenge, even maybe eating or drinking or recognizing their family, finding their way around. Those are the challenges that they may have. And if they're misunderstood, like if, for example, they can't communicate in a way that they used to, they might get frustrated, they might lash out and get frustrated with people. And then that becomes another problem also for the families. They don't know how to deal with that. Okay. So that's where education becomes so important. If you've got ways to step into the shoes and understand what the person's trying to express, then you can really start to make a difference, and you can connect with that person, and you can start to rebuild and reconnect relationships.
Okay, Hilary.
Okay, let's move to Elizabeth.
Yes. What kind of misconceptions we have experienced in Nigeria? Would you like to run through some of these and how it's affected your program?
Yeah. Now, my experience since I came into the world of dementia is that there is a huge depth of ignorance. People don't know what it means, and so they are given names, they are maltreated, we call them all manner of names, accusing them of witchcraft and all the likes. And a lot of people have gone under that maltreatment, and they have become depressed or acute as a result of that. And I think a lot more people now are getting to know more about dementia. They have come to know that it is not witchcraft, neither is it madness, because these were part of the misconceptions. And they are seeking for help. Honestly, the rate of people coming to tell us that the people who have dementia, seeking for knowledge on how to handle them, is increasing by the day. And I know that with time, with more education, we are likely to have a better handling of people living with dementia.
All right, so very quickly, I'm back to still with you, Elizabeth. You became certified Spark of Life Master Practitioner after training in Australia. Now, how did that program transform your outlook on dementia care? And how are you impacting on the elderly in the center?
Yeah. Thank you very much, Helen. That program transformed me a lot, I must confess. I learned about the essence of humanity, and I saw love, real love, in physical manifestation. And I was able to compare that so to love actually has to be unconditional. Now, we read about unconditional love in the Bible. Now it's now for our turn to practice that unconditional love. And that is exactly what Dementia and what Spark of Life teaches. And it has made me to appreciate human beings. It has made me to love more. It has made me to be more patient and to be understanding. Now, it takes love for you to look behind challenges of dementia. It takes love for you to look behind all their differences, all their disabilities, all their challenges, and all that. And you see, somebody is hurting you, and you have to respond with love. It's not easy. And that's probably one of the challenges we have in telling people that you have to love deeply. And I tell you, it's difficult.
Okay.
It's difficult.
All right.
It's unfortunate that we may have to wrap up on this segment in another minute. So I'll give that minute to Hillary. Hillary, all the way from Perth, could you please tell us exactly what is the Spark of Life model of care and how is it different from traditional care models? Could you do that for us in 30 seconds?
I'll try. Okay, so Spark of Life model of care is an innovative best practice model that achieves transformational outcomes for a service. And it's about optimizing the quality of care. You can also attract new staff, which is one of the key problems in aged care, and it also helps prevent elder abuse as well. I can share more, but I'm not sure if you're going to your break now.
Oh, very much. Well, we want to consider this a part one because we really haven't touched, some of the very important and salient issues that we planned to touch on this morning. But the most important thing is we've set the pace, and we will pick up with this conversation in the part two of this program with you if we find the time and if you're not too busy. And we will get to talk with Elizabeth and arrange what time is available with us, and then we'll get to do the part two with you. But we really appreciate your time this morning, and we thank you so much for the work that you're doing with and for the elderly. Eventually, everybody will get to that stage. So if we all get to learn how to make that part of our life very beautiful for everybody, then it pays off. Thank you, Ms. Elizabeth. Thank you, Hillary, and well done.
So this is how far we can go on this matter for now. Like Helen has said, this will be the part one. Of course, we all agree that the elderly deserve all the love and care, and we believe you have been provided with the most important tool, which is education. Thanks so much for your time, Elizabeth Ino Scott, and thank you so much, Hillary Lee.
Thank you. And love unconditionally is at the bottom of it all for the elderly. Thank you so much. You're still watching Today with John and Helen live, and we'd like to say thank you so much to Elizabeth Ino Scott and Hillary Lee, our two guests, who have joined us this morning on a very interesting conversation, guiding us through how we can take a very good care of the elderly using the new approach that is the Spark of Life model.
That's right.
Thank you. Yeah, so we move on.